Hello and welcome to Driving with Todd, and I'm Todd. I talked about my friend Bob. He was my friend that I met in junior high school, pretty much on the first day of junior high school, and we were friends throughout junior high school and beyond. Bob and I would play chess together, so we would go to each other's house like on a Friday evening, and then we would play chess. But we'd also take our records along with us that we wanted to play. So what was weird is when I went to Bob's house, I took my records and we listened to my records. And when Bob came to my house, he would bring his records and we'd listen to his records. Kind of backwards, but that's just how we did it. Well, one night he brought over an album called Chicago Transit Authority. And he put it on, and I kind of like, it was like, okay, this is okay, but it was so brassy. It was brassy. It was kind of jazzy. I had a hard time with the album, which is kind of weird because I like Blood, Sweat, and Tears, and I had Blood, Sweat, and Tears albums, but they were a little bit more bluesy with brass. So I think the difference was blues versus jazz. So I wasn't taken by Chicago Transit Authority. Then we played again one evening, and he brought over the Chicago 2 album. Put that on. Well, Make Me Smile was a hit off of that. Color My World was a hit off that. So it was a little bit more familiar to me, and I kind of like, I could kind of get into that album, but it wasn't something that I would go out and buy. And then he brought over Chicago 3, which I did not like at all. It was like they were kind of burned out after putting 2 albums out in a row, and then putting out Chicago 3. To me, that was like they just weren't at the same prime level that they were on Chicago 2. And even to this day, I don't really care for that album very much. Now, I didn't get into Chicago myself until Chicago 7 came out in March of 1974. So they put out 6 albums, and then Chicago 7 before I actually bought a Chicago album and got into the group. Chicago 7 is just a phenomenal album. Today, it's my favorite Chicago album. I mean, it was when I bought it, and it is still today. I then went back and bought the other Chicago albums and kept on buying Chicago albums as they came out. Well, I want to go back to Chicago Transit Authority because actually that's a really good album. Now, that album came out in April of 1969. It was recorded in January of 1969. Now, that album didn't really go up the charts on Billboard's Top 200. It took them quite a number of weeks, in fact, almost 2 years, for it to hit its peak on Billboard's Top 200 charts. But it was mostly due to the singles that were being released from the album, because the singles were being released after Make Me Smile and Color My World were big hits. So then the album Chicago Transit Authority started to get some look at by the buying public. And the album finally got to number 17 on Billboard's Top 200 chart in 1971. Well, my favorite track on that album is South California Purples. It's kind of a bluesy track. So what did I say? I said they sounded too jazzy to me. But that track, from the first time I heard the album to today, just sticks out. It's just a dynamite track. It's one of my favorites Chicago tracks, and I thought it'd be kind of great to play it. So we're going to listen to Chicago doing South California Purples. Okay, now what I loved in this song, the first time I ever heard this song, when Bob brought that album over and put it on the turntable, and we listened to, first side, second side, and this is actually on the third side after a song called Freeform Guitar. And Terry Kath is playing a freeform guitar. No tricks, no pedals, no nothing, just a guitar plugged into an amp, and the stuff that was coming out of there was tremendous. And then this song comes on. After all this experimental guitar playing by Terry Kath, this song comes on, and that guitar, do 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 do. It was like, wow, that's really cool. And then that bass guitar comes in with the exact same lines, and then the drum comes in filling for the guitar and the bass, and then the keyboards. It was like, this song is dynamite. And this is the one song that just stuck out so much on that first Chicago album. So let's play this from the beginning again, because it's just a dynamite beginning to a song. Here we go. Okay, so Robert Lamb is the one who wrote this song for Chicago, and he's the keyboard player for Chicago. So you can kind of get the sense here. They started with the guitar, the bass, the drum, keyboard came in, we had some vocals, and then we went into an instrumental break where the brass came in. So it was after the singing, the brass comes in, but it comes in kind of slowly, and then there's a great keyboard solo by Robert Lamb. I mean, it's just a great organ solo. I mean, this whole thing is just really great. Now we're going to go back into the vocals again and see where this thing goes. But so far, just the way this thing's laid out and musically, it is just tremendous. Here we go. Okay, so um, that guitar solo, just wild, just wild. I think Terry Kath doesn't get enough kudos for his guitar playing. You know, Chicago's always kind of looked at as later on Chicago, where they were doing a lot of love songs and a lot of mushy stuff, and they don't look at the early Chicago where Terry Kath just played a wild, mean guitar, and I don't think he gets enough kudos in the rock world as one of the premier guitarists. I mean, this guy is really good. If you listen to the Chicago Live at Carnegie Hall album, there are so many hot guitar solos on there by Terry Kath. The guy is phenomenal. And this is like their first outing. And he had a just dynamite guitar solo in this song. And then when he came out of guitar solo, we went into a line from the Beatles, I Am the Walrus. I mean, how cool is that? I mean, we go heavy guitar solo and then a line from I Am the Walrus from the Beatles. Just really cool how they fit that in there. So let's keep on going with this song, and I'm going to replay that line from I Am the Walrus. So here we go. Okay, and then it ends with a kick butt guitar solo at the end too. I mean, just wild guitar, just wild guitar. And the whole thing is just, I mean, you got that bass guitar just driving that same song, do 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 all the way through the song. I mean, that is just dynamite. It brings everything together. Got the drummer, he's just like doing a lot of fills. Guitar, incredible guitar. I love the keyboard. There's a lot of keyboard in this thing, and the horns just add to the sound. They just, you know, they come in a little later, but then they're throughout the rest of the song, and they add so much. Just a great hard rock song out of a group that is kind of like a jazz type of rock and roll band that kind of does mushy songs. Not really. Their early stuff was hot. I mean, it was hot. This was a great hard rock song, and I think they should have done more of this type of music because they were really good at it. And like I said, Terry Kath, dynamite guitar solo in this song. He is just a wild man on the guitar. So I really loved hearing this again. I love South California Purple, just a dynamite song. I hope you enjoyed Chicago doing South California Purple from their first album. If you did, hit that like button. If you have any comments about Chicago, the song South California Purple, or even the first album, Chicago Transit Authority, put it in the comments below. That'd be really cool. And if you haven't done so, subscribe to my channel. I'd really appreciate it. And if you go over here, hit the bell, you'll get updates to my latest video. So this put a smile on my face. Like I said, the first time I heard that album, this was the song that said, yeah, I really like this song. The rest of the album is okay, but I love this song. So this put a big smile on my face hearing this song again. I hope it put a big smile on your face, and peace out, baby.